Okay, I use the PowerPoint because I received later and I have already prepared the PowerPoint presentation about the module 8, that is ignorance is not a bliss. How to
It was switch off, yeah.
No.
Just
Okay.
is it not working?
No.
No.
Maybe the pen here.
Now it is right. I know.
Okay, now we are. Okay, first of all, the structure of the module is the same that you have seen up to now. We have the students' learning objectives. It is part of them are inside the cognitive domain. So the students will lead to understand that the ignorance can lead to negative consequences. They have to learn how to search knowledge, how to search information, reliable information to take informed decision. Analyze the real situation where ignorance has had a negative impact on the negative consequence on a specific situation. So they needed to understand the cause and the effect connection in a special situation. And of course, develop research skills and information in order to distinguish the false information and of course, able to apply the knowledge acquired to assess the several situations. And we have also some learning objectives to reach through the whole activities in the storytelling domain. So they need to be involved emotionally in the story and empathy with the characters of the story and of the situation. Storytelling and digital skills development, because they needed to develop this kind of they will lead to develop this kind of skills. And of course, they need to be very good to identify the topic, the theme, and to find the real world application, because it is not only the story, but they need to find the connection with the real life. And of course, they need to assess their situation and reflect on the history and the real situation again. So in the learning, students' learning objectives, we have also the emotional. So they need to be aware of the consequences of the impact of the ignorance. Okay, encourage of a question and the learning and reflect of on a personal point of view. So we need to lead the students to reflect and to think about the several differences of the situation. And of course, analyze the narrative element. Okay, and to reach this kind of learning objectives, we have a different kind of activities. Okay, yeah. First of all, we go to the brainstorming to collect the ideas, what they have in mind of the students, that we use a Padlet, and we will use the online audio creator. We suggest some digital software that we can use for free. And of course, the online infographic poster that we use to visualize the topic, to help the students to visualize the topic. And we use a Google search or any other browser to search the information, the resources. We will use the presentation, the collected data and information will be presented through Google slide presentation. And then we will use a story creation that we see this morning, the storyboard, and there are a lot of templates in Canva that you can use to be inspired how to make a storyboard. Okay, and we will use also video making, OpenShot, that is for free, software that can be downloaded, and it's open source that you can use to make for a video maker. And of course, we can broadcast our video through YouTube. Of course, it is a work done by the students, so we need to be very attentive. That is unlisted the publication, so we can see the video made by the students, broadcasted through the YouTube, only if we have the link. So be care of it. And of course, the final work can be evaluated. Of course, we will suggest some activities to evaluate the students' work, but also you know that as a teacher, you need to formalize your evaluation, so it can be used Google Form easily. So the materials that you need, of course, you can use computer, tablet, smartphone. You can print all the materials, but also some activities can be done using the monitor touch. That is a trend for this time. Also the whiteboard. So and then so we have divided each phase of this 5E model in a digital application and traditional classic application that you can do without technology. So you have paper, pencil, color, post-it, and of course, if you don't have a computer, you can use newspaper journals that you can use in the class to collect the information. To try to let the student be able to evaluate and assess the information they search. Okay, everything, all the activities with all the process last 190 minutes, and it is made through the 5E instruction model, of course, engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. So in the first activity, in the engage, we use video animation, video stimulus, that of course we suggest, but the video that we can suggest is specific for a specific age. Since the course, the training is for for the kids and the secondary school, for the first grade, first cycle, second cycle. So we need to maybe adapt the videos and to use other videos for based on the target group, because every target group of the students need has some needs. So we use the video stimulus, and then we can make some brainstorming to check what the students has understood, or what are the point of view of their students, and then we can discuss in the classroom. So the second phase, the explore. So we started with the storytelling to create an infographic, or just a poster, and then we can discuss into the classroom. And then in the explain, we make the research and create also the presentation. In the elaborate, the students create the story on the base or the research or the information that they have collected, And of course, it is the evaluation time that is divided into class discussion and online survey. So, of course, every activities, every phase has their own specific objectives. In this case, the teacher will let the students watch the YouTube video, or by using the link on YouTube, or just go to the QR code and see the video. The teacher will start the lessons by asking the students. We suggest some questions to start the discussion, but of course, you can readapt based on your class, of course. And the teacher will encourage the students to share the initial thought and using a Padlet. And each instrument, digital tool that we'll use, of course, there are the guidelines how to use it. This is the digital application. Maybe I need to wait a little bit. Okay, and but we have also the traditional application that is the same. So, for example, in this case, we have some screenshot of the video, and you can print it and deliver it to the students. The teacher will start the lessons by asking not the same question, because you have some pictures, and the teachers will encourage the students to share the initial thought by using what? The Post-it and to paper or whiteboard. Okay? In the second phase, of course, you have some specific learning objectives related to the wall activities. Also here, you have the digital application that we do. The students can listen to the audio. It's the QR code. This is the audio story. But the teacher will ask the students to analyze the case, identify the causes and the effects of the ignorance, and let them to suggest some solution. Students can create on the basis of the story infographics or posters, because it is important that the students can visualize and represent visually the effect of ignorance on a specific topic. And then the students can describe the work to the work class. It is important from the students to present their work, because we have to lead them to develop the speaking skills, because they don't want to talk in front of the class. They don't want to collaborate with the others. So we need to force a little bit these students, because these skills are very important for their future. Digital application. Then we have suggesting the traditional application when you don't have the digital tools, or in that moment you are not able to use them. So you can read the story aloud, okay? So no obstacles to realize the activity. The teacher will ask students the same, analyze the case of, and the effects of ignorance to make the solution, to create the poster or infographics, of course, using what? Using paper, colors, paper, sorry, colors, newspaper, and so on. And the students can describe their work to the class. It's the same. The third phase, of course, explain. So they have also some activities to learning objectives to reach. And in this case, the teacher will guide the discussion with the students with some questions. And we suggest some questions like, what are some reasons why people might prefer ignorance? In what situation can ignorance be dangerous? And so on. But of course, you can adapt to your class. Students search online by using Google or any browser the information about the real life situation where the ignorance has had negative consequences in because they need to distinguish the situation and to take a decision. They need improve their knowledge of how to make decision process. So, of course, the students will prepare the PowerPoint presentation about their activities, including multimedia resources. In a traditional application, it's the same. What is the difference? The difference will be how to collect information. So if we can't use Google for Google search, we can use newspaper, but we can use some interview. So the suggestion is let the students start some interviews, maybe through the parents, relatives, friends, about the ignorance, because the adults, so we have a longer experience in that. So I think that at least three interviews, it is enough for them to collect some information to explain, synthesize the main point in front of the class. In the elaboration, of course, we need to develop a research skill and information. We have a digital application. So this is the moment that the students need to work together. Maybe our suggestion is to organize the class in small group, not more than 4 people for group. Otherwise, it's a big, it is a mess, because some people don't want to work. They encourage their students to use their creativity to make their story, of course, with the focus of the ignorance and their consequences. What we can use the storyboard that we suggest some template, but Canva has a lot of template to make a storyboard. The storyboard is important because you see the consequences, the story timeline, and based on the storyboard, the students need to make the short video, not more than 3 minutes, because digital storytelling is to make in short video, the very short video, the representation of the story. And in this case, you have the traditional application, so you can divide into the group. You can use the printable storyboard template, so they make using the colors, using the papers, and so on. And based on the storyboard, they can construct a story using the paper and show their story to the class. In the evaluation, of course, it is important that we use the observation as as a formative assessment during all the process. What we suggest in a digital application, we suggest also the observation grid, so you can find for each criteria, you can find the rubric and maybe can help you to observe the work of your students during the whole process, not only at the final step. So, but anyway, ask the students to present their video story to the rest of the class. It is important that you as a teacher observe the students' work, but it is important also to let the students discuss about their work. So they need to observe and to make a question to peer review. And of course, as you know, you need the formal evaluation. So you can use a submit online survey created with Google Form, for example. This is the rubric that we suggest. We identify some criteria, the content understanding of the story that they created, the example and the illustration, the clarity and organization, the presentation skills, overall impact and the creativity. And you have a scale. My suggestion is to share the criteria to be evaluated at the beginning of the activities, because they know that the presentation skills are part of the evaluation, so they will not make a lot of difficulty problems to do that. Of course, also in this evaluation, you have a traditional application. So they ask the students to present their paper-based story, of course. And then you can do the same. You can discuss with your students. You can use the observation grid and the rubric to make your reflection with your students, and the teacher will manage the evaluation process in the class, maybe through their official test, paper-based test. Some suggestion when you prepare the questions, the teacher, of course, will prepare some question on the survey, using always the observation grid as your rubric as a reference point. Of course, the poster and the paper sheet, the teacher will maybe, if you want to create some evaluation, active evaluation in the class, you can hang a poster in your class. Each poster contains the question that you need. So, but of course, the survey should be, the question should have multiple choice question. And then teacher will give the student some stick notes or some colored index cards. Each student will need several stick notes because they use them to put them on the poster, because they need to write the answer and pick the answer, the stick notes in this big poster. And the students write the answer on each stick note or index card, one for each survey questions. So one for each poster that you put in your class. And then the students stick their notes or card onto the corresponding question poster on the walls. And then once all the students have answered to all the questions, so the notes, the cards are placed in the right place on the poster, the teacher, with the involvement of the students, can calculate the total score for each question and prepare the ranking list of the best work done by the students. This is the way how to include the students in the evaluation. So thank you very much for your attention.